Okay, in this lecture, we will discuss about Python operators. So we are having different operators in Python. Operators in Python. So these operators are special symbols or keywords in Python that carry out arithmetic or logical operations. Okay, so why we need these operators? In order to carry out the arithmetic or logical operations, and these operators can be represented by using some symbols and keywords in Python. So if you want to do any arithmetical or logic operations in Python, then we can use these operators. So these operators required some data to operate on, okay, and such data are called as operands. Okay, so the data these operators require some data to operate on, okay, and such data are called as operands. So if you consider, for example, I will take this addition and an arithmetic operator that is plus from this list, and if I use suppose two data, let's consider A and B, okay, and this A and B, let us consider they are integers. So this A and B, I can add these two integer values by symbol plus, like this, right? In Python also we can do like that. So these two datas are called as operands, and this is our operator. So this operator will be operating on these datas, and such datas are called as operands. Okay, and this is a table representing different operators available in Python. This is not the complete list, but most of them or the important operators I have included here in this table. So this first column representing operator, second one description corresponding to that particular operator, and the third one is the symbol or keyword that we use in Python to represent those operators. So Boolean operators, if you consider, these are for Boolean operations, as you know. We can have Boolean or, Boolean and Boolean not. Okay. So all these are Boolean operations, as you know, OR gate, NOT gate, NAND gate, all these things. So let's consider this. I will enlarge this table a little bit, that it will be much more visible. Okay. So these operators are used for these Boolean operations, different Boolean operations. So the corresponding keywords in Python are OR and NOT. Okay, I will explain how we'll get the output, or how we can use these things in Python while doing the program section. So this is the relational operator. Second one is relational operator, and that will tell you whether some variable or some data which is greater than or equal to or not equal to such kind of relations that it will check. Okay, so for example, you can consider greater than or equal to or not equal to. So it will check. It is used basically if you consider if conditional, then you have to check some kind of condition inside this if condition. So there we will be using something, for example, if I greater than 10, like that. So in those cases, we can use this kind of relational operators. Okay. So here we have this, for example, if you consider this greater than, then you have this symbol. I think there is some small mistake here. So this is less than. Okay. So don't confuse with that. So this, I think that is some that I have to change, right? So this is less than. This one is less than. This one is greater than. Okay. So, and this one is less than or equal to, symbol that you have to use, and this one is greater than or equal to. So that is very simple. This one is less, we are using in commonly in mathematics also. So this is less than, this is less than or equal to, okay, and then we have greater than or equal to, okay, equivalent to, that also there, and also not equal to, we have to use like this, not equal. So these are the different relational operators available in Python. So don't confuse with this. I have these two. I think this I have to place here, and I have to interchange those things. Okay. And the third one is bitwise operations or operators. Bitwise operators means if you are having any binary data and you want to operate on those binary data, for example, 1011, something like this. And if you want to do some OR operation like this OR operation, so this is bitwise operation, not that boolean that we consider here. So we can consider this as bitwise operation, like each of this will be or you can use AND operation if you are multiply these things. So all these things are possible. Okay, so in bitwise operation, I will explain this bitwise operation while doing the program. Okay, so bitwise operation will be doing this all these operations in this binary bits. So for that also we can use this, or the description is for or, XOR, and not, all these things, and the corresponding operators that we use in Python are these things. So one is this one is for or, this is for uh, XOR XOR operation, and this is for AND operation, and this is for not operation. This is nothing but that negation symbol. Okay, so these symbols we can use for that purpose, for doing the bitwise operation. Also, we have some additional bitwise operation, for example, move left or move right, okay, shifting that bitwise bits into left or right. For that, we can use these two operators. This is for bitwise right, and this is for bitwise left. So that will be shifted. The bits will be shifted. And here we have arithmetic operators then. And in arithmetic operation, we have this addition, subtraction, multiplication. So that can be represented by using plus, minus, and this star symbol that we already know because we are doing that in mathematics repeatedly. And then we have here, so in symbol wise, if you consider this is the star is used for multiplication. Okay, and then we are having this division, modulo, and floor division, exponential, as well as okay, exponentiation. For that exponentiation, we are using this double star. Okay, so these are the arithmetic operators. So if you want to explain, this is division, and then we have this mode operation or module operation. So module operation means, for example, if you want to find what is the remainder after dividing these two, 5, for example, 5 by 10, what will be the remainder? Or if you consider 10 by 5. So that we will be getting 10 by 5, which is equal to 2. So there is no remainder. So 5 mode, if I use 10 mode 5, then I will be getting 0 because there is no remainder. So if you want to get the remainder after division, then you have to use this modulo. Okay. So these are the arithmetic operators. They are used for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo, floor division, exponentiation. So here floor division is nothing but, for example, if you want to get some division, for example, I will say it's 2, and I will use some 11 here. So I will be getting the division as 5.5, right? 5.5. So if you are doing the floor division, then it will be uh, only this part which will give the answer. If it is considering that decimal points that will not be printed. So anyway, I will explain those things in the program section. We will understand that more clearly. And then we are having this object identity operators. So this will give you true value. So once you do this operation, then it will give you true value if object on both sides are having same they are same or same value. Okay, if they are having same value or if they are same, then only it will give you true. If it is this, if the objects on both sides are different, then it will give you false. Okay, so for that we will use this is and not is. So I have explained this condition for is, and the second condition true if object on both sides are different. For that we have to use this. So for example, okay, I will explain this while doing the program. So if you are having objects which are same on both sides, okay, then let's say I will write something like x is x. Okay, so if these two are same on left and after this particular if you are using this is, okay, is keyword for this object identity as an object identity operator. So in Python we are using that. So x is x. If these two, whatever it is left to this operator and right to the operator, if they are same, then it will give you the result true. Okay, so if you are considering something like this, x is y, if they are not same, then it will give you false, output as false. Okay, and also we are having not is. So if I consider f not is, then it will be operating like if they are same, then that will give you false, just opposite to this is. So in this case also you will be getting false if you are using not is. So if they are if the object on both sides are different, then only that notice will give you true. If they are same, then it will give you false. Okay, I will explain that while doing the program. And then we have these unary operators. Unary operators that we can use to give the positive and negative values when we are required to have some positive value, and in some cases we may be required to have some negative, and then you can write plus x minus x like that, plus value minus value. For that we are using this unary plus and minus. And then we have this subscript operator. We can write like this x index. So this index will be acting as the subscript, okay, like this. And then we have assignment operators. These are performing operations and assigning value to a particular operator. So in this case, if you consider, as we discussed, for example, sum equal to, if I'm writing sum equal to a plus b, okay, this we can write it like this, okay. So the same I can write by using this particular operator, by using these assignment operators, by these symbols, okay. So here also I can use for example, if this assignment is this, also this one is using as an assignment. So here what we are doing, these two are added by using the arithmetic operation plus operator plus. So then that value is assigned to this variable sum. That is the assignment operation. Okay. So and all other things we will explain while doing the program. So these are the set of keywords or symbols which is used for assignment operations. We can use equal to, then mode equal to, divided by equal to. So all these are for some particular operation, and after that particular operation, the values will be assigned to a particular operand. Okay. I will explain that part while doing the program. And then the last one is membership operators. Membership operators will give you true value if sequence with specific value is present. Okay, so if you are having a sequence, for example, 1 2 3 4 5, okay, something like this, and if you are using in operation, and you can check whether that particular value, that specified value, is in this sequence. If it is there, then it will give you true. If it is not there, then it will give you false. Okay, similarly you can use not in. This is same as similar to this identity operators. So here not in, if you are using not in, then it will give you false when that particular value is absent. Sorry, when it is present in that particular sequence. If it is present, and if you are using that not in operator, then that will give you false, just opposite to this in. Okay, so if you are using in, then if this the value is present in that particular sequence, then it will give you true. And we also having some priority to this operators. If you are using multiple operators in a code, in an instruction, then which operation has to take place first? Okay, that is also we have to consider, right? Because if you are having a large number of operators in the same instruction, then we have to consider the priority. We have to give priority to some operation, right? Then only that particular operation will be acting first. That particular operation will be uh, performed first, and after that only the other operations should be performed. Okay, and this particular priority, which we call it as precedence. Okay, so we can write here, it is operator precedence. So operator precedence means which value or which operator has to be considered first, or which operation that we have to consider first if you're having multiple operation in a same instruction, in the same line or same instruction. Okay, for example, okay, I will explain that examples later. Okay, so if the first one should be exponential, so this table representing this operator precedence in the highest precision to the lowest, highest precedence to the lowest precedence order. So this one is the highest precedence and this one is lowest precedence. So which means that this operator will be having highest priority and this one will be having lowest priority. So if your operation or if your instruction contains this exponentiation, that will be given highest priority. So that has to be performed first before doing any other operation. Okay, and then you are having this. Here we are having. I will just increase the size of this table because it's not that much visible. So that one is negation. Okay, so maybe it is not that much visible here. I don't know, it is. Okay, anyway, this one is negation. The first one is negation operator, as you can see here, because we are considering this is for complement. So we are using this symbol, and that is for complement. And then we have these unary operators, plus and minus. And then we have to go for multiplication, division, modulo, and flu division. So this order has to be like this. So from high precedence to the lower precedence. So remaining operators, as you can see from this table, will be followed in the same order. So the last or the lowest precedence will be given to this in not in. So this I am talking about in terms of keywords. Okay, if you are having brackets, then you have to perform that first. That is also there. Exponentiation, for example, if you want something x plus y plus some z square, okay, then you have to perform this z square first before adding. You cannot do x plus y plus z, then you cannot square it. But instead of that, you have to do this z square first, then you have to add. So first operation should be that exponentiation. Okay, so the precedence will be given, or the highest precedence is for this exponential. So we have to do that particular operation first. But if you are having suppose x plus y plus z square, you're having this kind of operation, then you have to consider that bracket also. So first you have to consider this bracket. So whatever inside the bracket, that you have to perform first, right? Then only you can take this cube. So I am not talking about that brackets here. Okay, I am only talking about the keywords or the operators. Okay, so I am talking about the operators. In the operators, which one will be having the highest precedence, that I am discussing here. So then we are having this bitwise AND operation, bitwise shift operations, right shift, left shift, all those things. And then we have a bitwise XOR operation. So all this will come after these operators, which are having highest precedence. So all these are having highest precedence. So from the table top, we'll be having highest precedence, and at the bottom we are having lowest precedence. So these logical operators, membership operators, identity operators, all these will come the lowest in the lowest precedence. Okay, so this is how we will perform the operation based on the different operators. So again, I am talking about the operators precedence. Okay, now we will go to the program section, and I will discuss some of the important operations that we will do in this Python, so that you can understand that much more clear. Okay, I will be opening that ideally menu first. Okay, I hope I will present this ideally menu. Okay, I hope you can see that window, right? Okay, now I will be doing these operations one by one. All those operations I am not going to discuss, but some of them important operations I will discuss, and remaining things you can perform or work out by yourself. So first one is the assignment operation. If you are considering for assigning values to a particular variable, that we already discussed while doing the programs before. So these operators should have been discussed at the first. Okay, no problem with that anyway. So these operators are very simple. So first we have that assignment operation. In assignment operation, we are having equal to. So that is a equal to, if you consider 10. Okay. So what we are doing here we are considering the value, value 10 will be assigned to variable a. So here 10, we don't have to declare that a here. Okay, so if you are giving 10, then it will be automatically taken as integer, right? So if you are considering a equal to 10, the value 10 is assigned to variable a. That is how assignment operation will be working. Okay, that you can also perform the other operation. So if you want to get that answer, Now what will be the value of a? Now the value of a will be 10, because the value 10 will be assigned to the variable a. So that is how assignment operation. You can also use the other assignment operators. They will also uh, become will be getting same kind of operation by using the assignment, other assignment. Now, if you consider another variable b equal to, let's say some other value 5. So if you want to get what that value, what is b now? It is 5. Now, if you do a plus b, this is arithmetic operation for adding two numbers. So let us consider s equal to a plus b. So what this will do? So this is again assigning the value of the right side to the left side operator or variable. You can consider that. So s equal to a plus b means the operation of addition will be performed here, and the value will be assigned to the variable s. Okay. So here we can have, let's consider s equal to a plus b, and you can print that. Now that addition operation is performed. Okay. So if you want to print s, then you will be getting 50. So a is added with b, and that value is assigned to s. That's why we are using assignment operation, that is equal to, assignment operator equal to. And then you can also do the other operations like d equal to a minus b, that is another arithmetic operation. And if you want to print that d, that is difference, that's why I'm using d. We will be getting 5. Now, what is the difference between floor division and division? So if you consider something like okay, I will do some other values. Let's say di. So di equal to division. I will write div. So division div equal to a by b, for example. So I'm using that symbol for division. Now, if you print division, you will get what is the value associated with 2.0. Okay. Now you can directly take this. You can directly give like a by b here. That also will give. But I'm using print to know the value that is assigned to that particular value variable div. Okay. So that's why I'm printing that. Okay. Anyway, so that is now my value is 2.0, and if you are using floor division here like this, you have to use that division symbol twice. Then if you are writing like this, then that will give you 2. The decimal part is correct. Now if you are, we can also consider some other values. For example, uh, let's say 9 by, sorry, 8 by 9. So what is 8 by 9? 0.88. So if I consider 9 by 8, then I will be getting 1.125. Okay, so I can give now um, how much value I can give. So if I am doing that by using floor division, then I will be getting 1. Similarly, you can also go for 17 by, sorry, okay, 17, but not 7, it's 15 by 8, let's say. This is 1.875, right? If I am using floor division here, 15 by 8, I'll be getting again 1. So that those decimal part will be taken off when you are using this floor division. Similarly, you can use modulo operation to find the what is the remainder after a particular division. So I will be doing the same here, a by So okay, A by B we have, so A mod B I have, right? So A mod B, which means that if I am dividing A with B, what will be the remainder? A mod B. That will be 0 because we are considering A as, I think A as, what value we have considered here? 10, right? A is 10 and B is 5. So that is obviously will give you remainder which is equal to 0 because it is 2 times. If you are using some other values, for example, A equal to, let's say A equal to some 5 and B equal to some 2, I can give. And if you consider A mod B now, that will be 1 because if you are taking that division, then 1 will be the remainder. And also we can have that plus minus to give the values. If you consider here, for example, plus A, then that will give me 5, right? And if you consider minus A instead of that, you consider minus A directly, and it will give me minus 5. That is for unary operation. Also, you can check whether some particular value is greater or less. So if you consider any such operation, for example, you can consider A greater than B. If you give A greater than B, then enter, that will give you true because my A is now 5 and B is 2. So that will give me directly true. And if A is less than B, if I give A is less than B, then it will give me false because A is not less than B. Okay. So and also you can use other operations like A less than or equal to B. That also will give you false. Then A not equal to B, not equal to B, true because it is A is not equal to B. A is 5 and B equal to 2. So in that case, we will be getting true. So in this way, you can use these operators to check a particular condition. Okay, that is also possible. So you can also use any other operators to check this. Basically, we'll use these things in looping, right? So we can use all those operations, relational operations, to check to have some condition in particular section of your program. Okay, so we can use any of these relational operator, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, not equal to, or greater than, or whatever it is. So all those things we can use in this program. And then we are having the next one, which is binary operations. For example, bit operation I will consider here. So let us consider again A equal to 10 and B equal to some 4. And remember that A equal to 10 representing binary value 1010. Okay, and B equal to 4 representing binary value 0100. Okay, so if you are doing the operation, bitwise operation, for example, A and B, so that will be giving you 0 because basically you are having 1011 sorry 1010 for this 10 and 0100 for the 4. So if you multiply, that is AND operation is multiplying each of those bits. So you have to first multiply that 0 with 0, first right side 0, and then 1 with 0, then 0 with 1, and 1 with 0. So in all those cases, you will be getting 0. So the decimal value, equivalent value will be equal to 0. So all bit will become 0 and decimal equivalent of that will be 0. If you consider A or B like this, So in that case, you will be getting 14 because in that case you have to consider OR operation, and in that case, first we are having 0 0 on the rightmost side for 10 and 4. So 0 0 will be ORed and you will be getting 0. Then next time you will be getting 1 0, that will be ORed, so they will be getting result as 1. And then the next bit is 0 and 1. Again we will be getting 1. Then the last one is 1 and 0. So we'll be getting 1. So 1, 1, 1, 0 will be the answer. So 1, 1, 1, 0 is 14. That equivalent value will be 14. That is the answer that we are getting here. Okay. Similarly, you can do any of these operations that will give different output according to the operators that you are using. So these are all about the operators in Python. You can work out all other operations. Uh, I think I have to any other operators I have to discuss here in programming. Let's see. So here I think maybe I should give you an example for this assignment operators. Right? I didn't give us. Okay, I will also give one example here for something like also if you are having different operations, for example, in an expression 2 star 3 plus 5 minus 2, for example, some operation. Obviously, that star will be having more precedence, right? And then you will be having plus and minus. So both are coming in the same precedence. So what we'll do in such situation? So in that case, you have to consider left to right. Okay. For example, if you're having something like right 5 star, then 3 star, sorry, 3 plus 5 minus 2, something like this, these kind of expression. So we are having one star there, so it is having high precedence as compared to the other operators, plus and minus. But plus and minus are having same precedence. So in that case, what we'll do? So in such situation, we have to take the left to right priority, which means that left will be having highest priority or highest precedence, and the right one will be having the lowest precedence. So in this case, plus will be having the highest precedence after multiplication, and then we are having the minus. So if you take the value, then we will be getting 18. So it will be 5 into 3. Okay, so that will be getting 15. Okay, that will be added with 5 again plus. So plus 5 will be do performed. First we have to perform the plus 5 operation, then minus. This is the simplest one, so that will not make much difference. But when you're having such scenario with the same or equal precedence as we discussed in that table, in that case then you have to consider left to right uh, precedence, which means that the left one will be having highest precedence. So when you are having the different operators in the same instruction, which are having same precedence in from that table, then you have to consider left to right precedence, which means that the left one will be having highest precedence, and the right one will be having lowest precedence. Okay. Now you can do the assignment operation. So for example, if I write a plus equal to 5, which assignment operation I am having here. Okay, we will be, I have to print that one now, print now. I'll be getting 6. Okay, so basically this assignment operation is performed like initially you are having, so actually I'm starting from here. So this one was not, it is not required actually. So first we have to suppose a equal to 1 initially, and then I am using this assignment operator. This assignment operator will perform like adding this 1 with the, sorry, adding this 5 with the previous value. So this a plus equal to 5 is equivalent to, let me see, okay, I can, I will not be able to write, I will explain here. So a, I am having a plus equal to 5. So this is same. I'm just writing the explanation here. This is same as a plus, a equal to a plus 5. Both these expressions are same. So here I am initializing my a value with 1 and I am adding 5 with that. So here I am using a equal to a plus 5. Now my, this is my a value, that is a equal to 1, that will be added with 5, and that value, final value, will be assigned to this a again. Okay, so initially my a value is 1, that is added with 5, and the total value is again assigned to a. So this is the operation a equal to a plus 5, right? But in here, the same result I can get by using this operation. In that, what we are, the operation is same. Here also we are doing same operation, a equal to a plus 5, but we are writing it like this, which means that a equal to a plus 5. Okay, so a plus equal to 5, which means that a equal to a plus 5, and that will give me 6 because I have given here uh, my value initially 1. So in this case, my value will be changed to 11, right? Because I am again adding. So now my a is 6, and again I am adding 5 with that a, so I should get 11 instead of, if I am printing that value now, and I should get 11 because again I am adding 5. So this is how the assignment operation work. You can do the other operations also, like minus also you can use. For example, a minus equal to some 2. Okay, so this, what this is doing, it is subtracting 2 from a, and the total value, whatever the result, will be stored again in that a itself, in the variable a itself. So this is same as a equal to a minus 2. And if you run this, then if you print a value now, then I will be getting 9 because 2 will be subtracted from this value. Okay, so that's all about the operators, and you can work out the other operators by taking some examples. And in the next class, we will be discussing about Python functions.